So this is like a fake bird nest that had eggs in it. And I was out in the garden and I noticed that the eggs were all strewn about and had chew marks on them. And so, well, an animal came through here, and I think it was a skunk because I catch a lot of them. And whatever it was, it must have been disappointed about that. It knocked a bunch of my plants over. Let's see. Left my little squash plant alone, but yeah, this was full of seeds. Not anymore. And I just have been putting, oh yeah, and it ate half of a cicada, and I've been putting cuttings and eggshells in here, and it got all in here, making a mess. So when I rake, I always make my piles right here. And the benefit of doing that is I have a nice assortment of plants just randomly growing over here now. The pot plants are no longer outside, but they do live on. Now this might be a cayenne pepper plant. Hold on, let me... Alright. It is just gorgeous. This is a chia plant. It's a little cluttered, but I want you to see just how big and beautiful this plant is. So we're gonna just leave those peppers. I have eaten some of them. They are very hot, in between jalapeno and habanero. And so they could possibly be either bird's eye chilies or cayenne pepper. We got calendula. See a bug? Let's see. Oh yeah, my green bean plants are starting to produce. I was getting worried there, but the grasshoppers had mercy on me, I guess. Now my chia plants, boy, they're so gorgeous. When they're young, the leaves are tasty. But what I want are the seeds. None of them are flowering yet. Or showing signs. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, if it will, but I'm still grateful that I planted them in the garden this year. Simply because they provided a lot of shade from the Arizona sun for the plants that are underneath them. Which I have pepper plants growing, you know. Corn didn't work out this year because I tried to save seeds, but you know, we all learn in our own ways. I just like to not believe people when they say like they genetically modify seeds so that you can't save them. Sometimes I'm disappointed, sometimes I'm surprised. So you never know if you don't try. I was told that by somebody online that you can boil these, cook them like broccoli, and eat them. And let's see, some of the thicker ones, they even look kind of like, I mean, they don't look like broccoli, but I could totally, whoa, this one's long. Well, that one's just small. Right here, look, that looks healthy. And then the water, I'm sure it becomes pink as well, because when I boil beets, the water turns pink. And actually, beet water is really good for you. Hi, you're a co-star now. I laugh trying to pet him. Some of them will run away and some of them don't. You're cool, buddy. Thanks for letting me touch you. Yeah, so grasshopper poop is like watery. But I watched it happen, so I know that's what it was. Okay. And this is my Cherokee purple tomato plant. Well, plants. It's, you know, multiple different plants. It just wants to reach out and touch everything. These are the oldest ones. It's starting to get a little cold at night. Oh, hi there. Squashy squash. Basil be basilin'. Stunning. From the pictures I looked at, the chia plant flowers look similar to this. And the leaves taste slightly similar. Slightly. To me, a fresh basil leaf tastes almost like the right kind of black licorice. Now this is my lily turf, or I guess it's also known as monkey grass. Need to figure out how to extract seeds, if that's how it works. But it's probably like a bulb kind of thing. I'm not sure. And this plant was sitting outside the dumpster at Motel 6 when I used to work there. So this was like 4 years ago. And look at it now. Look how happy she is. Look at all those pretty purple flowers. This is spearmint, come up from last year. You can see how it's kind of, it will become out of control, you know, but it doesn't have time to be. This is a different kind of tomato over here. You know, I can't get too attached to things that, plants that are, you know, coming up right now, because they don't have much of a chance to mature before the first frost comes. This is dill, which I already went through my dill season this year. Look, see, amaranth. Let's cook it like broccoli. I'm gonna have to do it, you know, just do it. Oops, see all the seeds? They're tiny. Tiny, tiny. They get everywhere. So if you don't like the plant, don't even plant it once, because, yep. And my mom and I have some ideas on what we're gonna do with my seed collecting project and the meadow in front of her house. I've been pulling some carrots. The animals love the carrot greens. They're not getting that big, like maybe that big, because the soil's too hard. And I have not been wanting to run the water bill up because any way to not piss off my landlord, that's what I do right there. I am just afraid of her. She lives in California. The neighbors said she's plastic and they don't like her. And I've never met her, and I've lived here for years. And I'm on a month-to-month lease, but I've lived here for years. So, my goal is to not give her any reason to want me to have to leave. So I watched the water bill. Not to mention, Arizona folks, it's not going to kill you to cut a couple showers out of your routine and only flush on number 2 your toilet in order to conserve water. And because it really relies on every single person who consumes water to conserve it. And I know this has nothing to do with the garden, but it kind of does because, I don't know if any of you, my YouTube friends, know that I literally have a hose right here. I do not use it. We shouldn't all have hoses like that. We shouldn't all have access to water like that, because if they could see what is like projected to be our water issues in Arizona, it's not good. It's not good at all. So working now to minimize your daily water needs is where it's at, because in the long run, it's going to benefit you, your neighbors, your community as a whole. So, well, I'm done with my rant about water, but conserving water, if you're not already trying to do it, you need to. So, yeah, the only problem I had with the conserving water was possibly it stunting the growth of my corn. But the corn I saved is from seeds I grew last year. And I think that is truly what the problem is. I think it's that they're genetically modified to not be able to do that. You can feel it. You can feel something's wrong, okay? This was like the tallest one I got. And I haven't touched it. There's no corn in there. You can see the husk, everything. There never was corn in there. There's like a tiny little thing that looks like those like Chinese like baby corn things maybe, but it looks diseased and not correct. So, because I've dissected them all over here. And I thought, well, if I can find a seed from a corn cob growing, I'll try to save that seed and then plant it and see if I can like get by whatever modification was made to the seed. Because I need to know in my brain, by trying it myself, that I can't override whatever these demonic scientists are doing. I mean that. Okay, I'm done.